Welcome back to the show. Well, we've had a jam-packed lineup with lots of interesting information today, and we are ending today talking to Becky Blevins, and you know she is the queen guru around here of volunteering, and she just recently won an award because you are so amazing and everybody loves you at the hospital. So we are talking, I guess, volunteerism today, and are we just talking about what you do at the hospital?
And about our program.
Okay, well tell us about the program so that if you're interested in volunteering, you can.
Okay, we have a wonderful, wonderful program. We help in about 30 different areas of the hospital. Volunteers can be from age 14 or have completed the 8th grade until, I have one that's 94 that is still working. And volunteers live longer, so everybody gets signed up because you'll live a long time.
Studies show that volunteering
exactly
absolutely makes you happier.
That's exactly right. We, like I say, we help in about 30 different areas of the hospital. I have, for my elderly volunteers, I have jobs where I have sitting jobs, I have walking jobs, so whatever they can do, we can accommodate them in what they feel most comfortable with. We have areas of volunteerism with clinical and non-clinical. We help in a lot of offices. We're gearing up right now for our summer junior program. It is almost full. The deadline for that is tomorrow, so May 9th. So anyway, it's exciting to see so many young people that want to volunteer. Yes.
Yes, well with the night we had the Mayor's Award of Distinction that you won, I met a couple of the younger, you know, high school students, and they just loved it.
Oh, they did.
And that is so great. I mean, what an amazing experience. And we're talking at the hospital at Wellmont.
Right.
So, and how long have you done this?
I've worked for Bristol Regional for almost 24 years, but I've only been in the volunteer program for 9. And I kind of started out as a volunteer with my daughter. When my day ended in my office, I would volunteer one evening a week with my daughter in the gift shop. And I saw a whole nother side of the hospital from an office. You know, I was up there in my office, and so I got to see what really goes on in people's lives. And even though it was the gift shop, they would still come in and just want to have somebody to talk to and somebody to share with. And so my eyes were so opened, and it became the highlight of my week. And my mother and father are volunteers. My sister is a volunteer. My brother's a volunteer. My daughter was a volunteer. So it's kind of been bred in us. So we love it, love it, love it. But I was fortunate enough and blessed to get this job, and I've been there for 9 years, and it is the greatest job in the world. Truly it is.
Well, and they all love you. So you've obviously done a great job there. How many volunteers do you have right now?
Right now, well, last year in 2013, we had a total of 409 volunteers that actually worked. Of course, my summer program adds a whole bunch, because last summer, just with the junior program, we had at least about 125. So some work year-round after school goes back, but kids are so busy, you know, that we work around whatever schedule they have and whatever time that they have. But we have about 225 senior volunteers that work regularly, and then we have off and on, you know, over about 125 juniors. And some can't work a lot, but you know, every little bit is a great experience.
Absolutely. It's such a big hospital, and there's just so much to do.
Yes.
And I was surprised, and I know, so if you're interested, if they're listening and they're like, I would really like to do that, and how do they go about it?
Okay, they can call the main hospital number and they can transfer them to me. My direct number is 423-844-2831. I'm also on the Wellmont. There's a place on the Wellmont website that you can click on and tell us that you're interested in volunteering. There's never too many volunteers, because you know we're always getting new jobs and different things, and so we're kind of like the National Guard. We come in and save the day for the hospital. So
I mean, it is amazing. And you said there are sort of 30 different areas that you provide. I don't know if we have time for all 30, but give me some of like the top ones, or the areas that people really enjoy the most. What are they? Okay,
we have, we're one of the few hospitals that has a patient transport volunteer program. And what that means is we have a designated group of volunteers, and they're there every day, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 to 4:30, and they take calls from all the nursing floors that when patients are ready to be discharged, They go up, they get the patient, sign them out, get them to their car to go home. Those are the happiest ones. And then we also have volunteers that transport patients to doctors' offices. Sometimes they come and they're tired from walking to get to the hospital's doors, and they need help just to get, there for a test, to get to a different department for an x-ray or lab work. So that's one of the biggest, I think that is just such an asset to the hospital that we do that for them. And then we also man the front desk. It's manned totally by volunteers at the front desk. And we help in the cancer center for patients that are there for their infusion. We offer warm blankets, take their lunch order, get them snacks, just there to talk to them, because sometimes infusion can take like 4 to 5 hours. So they're there for a long, long time, and just to have somebody that's nice to talk to and to visit with and learn about them and share stories is great for the patients. Then we also have volunteers that make rounds on our floors. They visit patients just to say, how are you today? Is there anything we can help you with? And is there anything we can do better? And that helps the hospital call out, it's calling out needs for us that we can do things better. And then it also lets us know, hey, my nurse Jane is the greatest nurse ever. So we can also give that feedback to the hospital to pat them on the shoulder for a nice compliment. So those are some of the highlights. We own the gift shop. The auxiliary owns the gift shop. So we have lots of needs in there because it's strictly staffed with volunteers. We have a paid manager and an assistant, but it takes a lot of volunteers to be our clerks and to help
everybody. Is there anything I'm missing that you want to add?
Well, I just think that sometimes the volunteers are just kind of like the best kept secret. I know, they're there everywhere, and they come, and many days, it's probably a day that maybe nobody says thank you, but I think most people that are there and realize what all they do certainly thank them. But I tell them all the time that, on behalf of the hospital, we can never thank them enough. And on the snowiest of days, they'll be there. If they can't come, it just kills them that they're not going to be able to come, and because of a doctor's...
Especially after this winter.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sure they're like, I can't get out of my driveway.
Yes, and they are just an awesome group of people. And last year they gave 43,000 volunteer hours to the hospital, and then they have lots of fundraisers. So last year they gave $80,000 to the hospital, and all of that goes to help with patient needs.
That's
so
amazing.
It can be a crushed ice machine for a certain area, or it can be an automatic door opener to help patients get in and out of like the wound center or places where that is so important. But I could go on and on and on, and I'm just so proud to be a part of them.
Well, we're so glad that you came on the show, and thank you for sharing all this information. And now you've got a really great idea of exactly what goes on in Becky Blevins' department over at the hospital. And of course, we want to thank our volunteers, and we want to let you know that there's always room for more. So if you are interested, just make sure that you contact the hospital. You can just call the main number, as she said. So that is great. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so very much.
And thank you all for watching at home, and we'll see you next time.